Okay, what is up, guys? So this episode, oh my god, I can't believe I'm calling it an episode. What's up, guys? So today we are back working on the FD. So last time I just kind of gave you guys an overview of the FD and kind of what's going on with it. Sorry if there's an echo, I'm in the garage and I have no audio equipment. But I kind of gave you guys an overview of all the drama surrounding the FD. To be honest, the FD is not that bad. The engine feels really good. The bones of the car are very good, but it's got a bunch of little bitty things that we kind of need to address. So whenever we drove the car to try to get some thumbnail photos, we noticed that it overheated in something like 3 minutes. The battery was just like dangling in the back seat, kind of the back seat, whatever would be considered the back bin, right? They had cut open the back bin and just thrown a battery in there. And the battery cables weren't crimped at all. They were just kind of splayed out and tightened down, and it was just not really a good time. So logic tells us the first thing we should cover is the cooling issue, but I have a feeling it's more than likely just a thermostat issue or a sensor issue. So before we get into that, we're gonna tackle the charging system. We're just gonna go redo those, we're gonna go redo the battery relocation kit and probably relocate it again because the owner doesn't want them in the bin. So we'll put them in the trunk and maybe later go by Chris's and make a custom box to fit that and all the methanol stuff. I don't know. Let's go see what we got going on here.
I'm a rock star with a nigga on a meeting, it's like a new me now. I'm a hot shot with a name for the team, now that everything is in, and McDonald's is for free now. I'm a pop up in these cars, and these things that I don't got now. I don't know the words, but this song is fucking fire.
Oh, cool. So I left Lowe's just now asking for a wire crimping tool, and they kept showing me the little ones, and I'm like, no, I need something that can crimp something big, like some 0 gauge. And the guy, I don't know, it's the weekend, so maybe they just didn't have time for me, but he seemed pretty preoccupied and I didn't want to waste his time. So now we're here at the Mecca. I don't know why I didn't come here in the first place. So hopefully they got something. What's this fool doing in my territory, dog? You ain't supposed to be around here. Okay, so I'm looking for the one that you would hit with a hammer, but I can't find it. So I guess I gotta pull the socks off and get this. So this will help us figure out our cooling problem, or to see if the radiator's hot or not, and this will fix the wires. So let's go follow Giff. Boys, after tax, tag, and title, this thing cost $91. And I don't have $91, so yeah, let's just get this used and return it real quick. Okay, so we just got back from Harbor Freight, got everything we needed to kind of start work on the FD. So initially I thought maybe we should tackle the overheating issue first, but the more I looked into it, the more I realized the battery issue is this is really hard. The battery issue is a way bigger problem. So what we're going to try to do here is correctly wire the battery up by moving it from the bins and putting it in the back seat. So long term, I do have a plan for this. I was thinking we're going to put a battery box back there, but we're probably going to have to go to Chris and get one made. So for now, what we're going to do is just try to undo all this bad word and then put new wiring in and move the battery. So let's get to it. All right, so trying to take a measure of this battery. Oh, and the battery being propped there, like that's an actual thing, because if you put it inside, damn, I'm so bad with the camera. It ends up not being able to come out. So we got about, we'll call it 9.5 by 9 by 5, and look for, or we're just gonna make a battery because the battery box, because the battery boxes that would fit that cost about $100, and I think we can get that done a whole lot cheaper. So let's go ahead and get these terminals off and see how bad the battery routing damage actually is. So these look like they're probably about a 12. So let me, oh, Like I can't do that with my shoulder. I just had the shoulder surgery, so reaching things is kind of hard. So I'm gonna take my 12 here and just loosen that up. Kids, don't try this at home. All right. Go by the fingers. Yes. We'll take this one. There you go. Oh my God, this hurts. This is like actually kind of excruciating. I should probably stop, but that'll do. We're not reusing these terminals, by the way, so it's fine. Okay, so the issue with putting the battery here, I know it's a popular option, but I typically see that with smaller batteries, not full-size batteries. Ignore the ash there. So I think this is for the rear trunk latch cable. I'm not certain. We're not gonna mess with it, but what we are gonna do is kind of put something on there to grommet that shut. My finger's on fire, hold on. Got battery acid. So I got something on my finger and it started burning. So I licked it to make sure it wasn't in my head. It was definitely battery acid. So we gotta go rinse this off real quick. The water intrusion that we thought we had on the FD was not water at all. Actually, it turned out to be battery acid. I found out the hard way by sticking my finger into it. So now me and Gif are at Walmart getting baking soda. Okay, so here we are in the trunk. I don't know if you guys recall, but the battery was literally just sitting right there. It wasn't even like placed inside. I think the issue with that was because the previous battery was like too big and it got stuck or something, so it wasn't put back inside. But if we look inside the bin here, that's no good. So you will see some crystals on the left and some liquid on the right. I thought we had some water intrusion, but the burns on my hand tell me that is battery acid. So we're gonna go ahead and neutralize that, and we'll probably pull the wires out. And I think the battery would go better right there next to the methanol in like a separate container. I have a battery box, but I think we'll just get one made so that it looks a little bit cleaner and maybe box all of this off. So right now we're going to go ahead and pull these out of here because this doesn't really seem like a viable option to me. And we're going to see what it's going to take to put them there. Also, come on, man, don't do that with your battery cables. I'll show you guys how to do that the correct way, or more correct way. All right. You're probably wondering why I don't just do this in the garage. And I mean, that's fair because, to be honest, I'm wondering the same thing. But yeah, you know, we know what we should do, but we don't always do that. So yeah. Dude, these weren't even tight. We're just like barely slipped on there. I'm pretty sure these red and white wires you guys are see. Oh my goodness. That's how the methanol was wired on. Hotel Yankee Bravo. Hell yeah, brother, for my civilian friends. Yeah. Okay, cool. Pretty sure it's for the methanol. We're going to do that correctly. Or more correctly. Let's go ahead and neutralize this shit down here. Oh yeah, dude. That shit's bubbling. I wish I could adjust the camera, but you guys just have to take my word on it. It's, wow. You can probably hear it, actually. Jesus Christ. Okay. Love to see it. I'm gonna let all that baking soda, here, let me try to see. Can we see that? Yeah, you can probably see some bubbling. We're gonna let that work, and we're gonna try to pull this power line out. I should probably do this in the garage. Man, I should really be in the garage. Yeah, that ought to be high enough. Let me get some safety. Dang, my boy's got the clean 0 mileage BCs. I mean, those are good. They're not Apex, but they're decent. So first thing we'll notice when we get under here is we have fluid leaking all the way back here. So all the way from the front, kind of to the backs, keeping everything coated and like rust preventative, I guess. It looks like he does have some sort of like resonator welded into the exhaust here, but I'm not really sure. We'll probably have to have Chris redo all that. But the battery acid has kind of has gone through obviously the floor, which is not what we want, and it's kind of corroding this ground that's on the exhaust. I don't know how necessary that is, but we'll certainly replace it with a new one. We definitely have this hole here for this piece that still, I think it goes to the rear trunk, or maybe this is the e-brake cable. I don't really know, but I'm not really healthy enough to move around and get under there and find out right now. So right now we are going to get to this little guy that's zip line to the brake line. I'm pretty sure that's our power cable. We're gonna pull that out and see if we can't go somewhere else with it. So let's just look. Okay, so we're back up top. I ended up pulling the line straight through that hole. It came out, and I think we actually will have enough space to put something closer to this side. Okay, so what we did see while we were under there is this feed line for this methanol kit. Right next to it, there's actually a lot of space that we could probably tap in. I'm gonna get some measurements up here up top, and then I'm gonna get some measurements under there to make sure we don't hit any of the brake lines and to make sure that the big gauge wire can actually make its way through. But I think this is about to be really simple, really straightforward, and look much, much better. All right, so first thing we're gonna focus on is removing this methanol. Luckily, we already had a bolt or nut missing, so that's easy. Boy, howdy, dude, this is professional work that was literally hand tight. So that makes my life a little bit easier. There's still some fluid in here, so we will just disconnect right here at the little pin. We'll safely transport this to the garage. Oh, we can't. Whale, shit fire. Okay. Yeah, here, we'll just sit this down for now, like that. It's not leaking or anything. It is definitely still full of water meth, which makes this a little bit more annoying. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Actually, yeah, dude, they made the lines so short that, oh no, it's leaking. We're gonna have to definitely go about replacing this at some point, because I couldn't even turn it upside down. And yeah, try to disconnect the line, so we're just gonna try to pour. Smells like just water. We're just gonna try to pour this in here and hope for the best. Oh, there's some bubbles, so it's not just water. Okay, so that means be a little bit more careful. I wouldn't recommend this, by the way. Just throwing that out there. You know, in a well-ventilated area. I knew we would be messing around with this, and I'm not an expert on this stuff, so there's just a lot of unknowns for me. So we're doing this as safe as we can, minus the gloves and the eye protection and all that stuff. So let me go dump this in the ocean. Okay, it's not empty, but it's good enough where I can put it on the side and disconnect the fittings at the bottom and just remove the whole thing. Hey, he's still got a jack. All right, be right back. Okay, so we disconnected the pump at the tank. That way we kind of move things around. I noticed the controllers right here on the rear pillar, which is kind of weird to me because I'm pretty sure these have like fail safes and the light lights up to kind of tell you what your condition is. And I think if it's back here, the user can't really see it, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So maybe we'll relocate it somewhere up in the front, maybe in the glove box or something, somewhere hidden where if he needs to know a status update, he could see it without having to pull down the separation that goes here. This is just mounted to the carpet here. It doesn't really do anything. It's not really hard mounted, so we'll probably end up remounting that as well. We also, if you lift this up, we can see they only put one screw back in the plate that covers up his fuel pump, which, I mean, if it's like your own car, that's fine, sure. You know, we do things like that, you know, for a temporary fix. Nothing in here is really loomed. It's just kind of like out and about, can easily rub against there, causing issues. But what's most concerning, or pretty concerning, is this right here. That is a methanol line, and it goes, or it's a water meth line, and it goes, you know, up to the front of the engine there, but it's got kind of a hard kink in it, and there is nothing insulating the hole that's around it. It's just going to rub on that as he drives. Again, if it's your own car and it's a temporary thing, sure, do your thing. But man, this was literally a customer's car, and this is what it looks like. So I think we're going to end up doing more than we thought to get this corrected. So stay tuned. So my new measurements under the car got me 3 inches towards the curb and 1 inch towards the back to where the new hole for the power cable should go, which should bring our battery right in the trunk, kind of where we want it. So let's get that done. Okay, so this is where we're at so far. We went ahead and took the existing power wire out of the bin, and we ran it over the rear subframe and into the cabin here, or into the trunk here. So guys, for future reference, you just want to drill a hole or find a grommet big enough for your wire, drill the proper sized hole, lube everything up, and just go ahead and put it through. I'm not saying this is the correct way, but this looks better than this. Now, unfortunately with this, I'm gonna have to probably replace that whole line, because what you can't see is under here, it's got a hard kink in it, and I don't want to send my boy on the road, you know, going out like that. So we'll probably replace the line, which means replacing it from here all the way up to the intake elbow where it goes, and re-drilling that hole. I probably wouldn't have done it so close to a seam, but they're professionals and I'm not, so I'm not gonna judge that. Actually, I'm gonna judge it. Yeah, dude, that's, come on, man. All right, so the next action plan, while that is still saucing up in there, is to address this ground. I don't really know where they got it grounded. If we follow the line, finger. All right, they grounded it to the seats, which that's probably safe, but I really wouldn't recommend it, just because I'm the type of dude who torques seats down, but we're gonna move that too. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that either. Okay, so back on the handy dandy S13 workbench. This was the ground cable. Overall, it looks okay. This was the part that was all splayed out, and this is, well, I mean, not bad, but we're just gonna make it a little bit better instead of redoing the whole thing and spending unnecessary money, because again, I don't get paid for this. I'm just doing it because it's my homeboy. I love him. I don't want to see him get screwed over like this unless you know it's me doing it. So we'll try to see if we can get some heat shrink to fit. I don't think this 1/2 inch will get over this burnt out part. Oh, I spoke too soon. Maybe it will. Just keep on. Yeah, no, the 1/2 inch is not gonna work on this side. So I'll probably just electrical tape that, which I really hate, but it's our only option right now. Casper, leave the door alone. Next, we are going to properly crimp this side. Will the 1/2 inch fit on this? No. All right, so we'll probably go up to 3/4 inch. All right, so we're gonna up the size to this 3/4 inch heat tubing. This totally is not necessary, by the way. This is just a me thing. So, of course, if you're watching this, you're probably know more than me, but yeah. Also, I do have a heat gun. You won't believe where it is. It's at Yori's house, and she lives pretty far away. So there's no way I'm gonna go all the way to her house for a heat gun, especially if all I'm getting is a heat gun, you know what I'm saying, since she's out of town and whatnot. So yeah, we're just gonna use this candle lighter. Let's go ahead and get that good and shrunk. I love how we're talking about this whole episode is on janky work and I'm over here doing this, but it's better than it was, isn't it? Sheesh. Okay, now we got to do the hard part, which is crimping this part. Okay, so we got our new lug on, our new piece, and now we are going to take this handy dandy crimping tool that costs like $70. We're gonna make sure this stays on nice and tight. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this. Sheesh, tighter than hell. Okay, so that's not coming off. Yeah, there's no need to double crimp it. I wish I would have crimped it straight because it's kind of crooked. I hate this about myself. Now we'll rinse and repeat just like the last one. Okay, now we've got both sides the way they're supposed to be. Let's go get this car grounded and then do the same thing with the power wires and try to get it started. All right, so I hate that took me all day, but we had to take a few runs to the parts store because, yeah, things weren't necessarily fitting right. So we got our negative on this side, annotated by the black handle there, and then we have the positive on this side. Hold on, that's a song of my people. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, but we're back. So the next step, I'm gonna have to order it online, but don't worry, we're gonna move that, the whole methanol system. I need to take a couple grounding straps, and I'm gonna add those to the negative terminal and also the methanol stuff. But let's try to see if we can get a first start out of this thing. See if it starts any stronger than it was. Hopefully. Let's see, come on. Give me something. Okay. We are in there. Watch it not start at all. Just give me some clicks. Okay, we got lights. Oh, on a hill. Do you hear how much faster that spins? Do you hear how much faster the starter was spinning? Bro, I have like legit never heard the starter spin that fast. And that's the importance of, you know, better battery situation than this thing had. Anyway, that's about as far as we're gonna get today. I need some chapstick. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and do the like, comment, subscribe stuff. If you think Ethan and I are morons and shouldn't be anywhere near any of these cars, just let us know in the comments and we'll talk back to you, go back and forth, get the engagement up a little bit. Until then, we'll see you guys probably tomorrow because I think we're posting every day. All right, have a good one.
A rock star with the fans on the free, got the whole team, and she on the phone with me now.